Hey guys, Brassfax here with the Nova Group. We are now significantly lower than we were 10 minutes ago, now on the ground level of the SHOT Show Room 2025 floor. This beer will be done before the end of the video, and I'm here to give you the state of the union on the laser market in 2025. Last year, SHOT Show 2024 was depressing because we got a bunch of exciting new lasers, none of which would come out until, well, this year. This year, they're actually looking to come out. Let's go through it real quick so you know what the state of the laser market is right now and which laser you're going to want to buy. Starting out with the Iris. Holosun is killing it with the Iris. Now we have the Iris 2, IR laser, Vis laser. We have the Iris 3, that's the one everyone is talking about. So that's IR illuminator, IR laser, Vis laser. It's using V-cell tech, about 50 milliwatts, so something like a D2 or, a full power PEC 15 on the illuminator, civilian power laser, the usual. You can buy it for about $900, about 1,100 or so for the white light variant, and the white light on it, on the Iris 4, is actually quite impressive. They're using a full 18650 battery, so we're getting all the lumens. If I had to guess, looking at the floor model, we were able to shine it onto the roof in a bright room, about 50,000 candela. So not bad at all for a single all-in-one unit. By and large, the Iris series is going to be my go-to recommendation for laser aiming modules. That being said, you may want to not buy a Holosun device for reasons, or you want to buy something a little nicer, you want a little different capability. Well, we could take it a step up and look at the Z-Bolt ACAL. So this thing is a little depressing because every year it looks like it's about to come out and then it doesn't come out. But they promise, this time for real, for realsies this time, pinky promise, they're going to be coming out with the ACAL basically imminently. The ACAL looks really promising because it's like a D2 after it broke up with its girlfriend and got way fitter. Like the ACAL is significantly smaller, it hangs off to the side. I need more beer. Form factor style emitter of the D2, and that makes sense. Originally it was an LED emitter. It's now V-cell, and that's going to be a much cleaner beam pattern, at least a lot less splash in theory. There's a lot of other nicer features on the back. Unlike Holosun, they know what detents are, so the mode selector is far more usable. For the 4 of you that care, it's got Viz override, and overall the unit itself seems fairly nice, kind of like a D2 but good, right? The weight itself is also nothing horrific, about 2 ounces less than a D2. Price tag, $1,500. Made in America, baby. So if you want, a non-Chinese version, that's going to be your option. And at $1,500, smokes everything else in that price bracket out of the water. And in fact, it's probably better than some of the more expensive units like the US Night Vision DRV in terms of raw performance. Moving on, we have something that kind of came out of left field. Ryan's holding the camera right now, and he's like, hey, you want to go check out the Steiner Booth? And I'm like, I don't really want to check out the Steiner Booth. And he's like, you should probably check out the Steiner Booth. I'm like, fuck, fine, we'll check out the Steiner Booth. So we went out and, you guessed it, checked out the Steiner Booth. And in the Steiner Booth, there's this weird kind of, I'll admit, it's kind of fugly laser in the back that has 4 emitters on it. And at first I thought it would be like a Steiner A4, 4-in-1 unit. But in fact, what it's probably could be closely described to is a more advanced version of the MAL, right? So when you look at it, it's got 3 buttons, and the middle button is the standard button is your standard laser aiming module. Out comes the laser, out comes the illuminator. Here the illuminator is, I didn't quite get the answer down, I think about 50 milliwatts if I had to guess, up to 100 milliwatts. I'm not sure if he was talking about the civilian legal or the military variant, right? Because Steiner is much more DoD, LE focused. But we're getting that full power V-cell laser like all the models we've talked about thus far. However, the other 2 buttons are programmable buttons for different modes. And because we have essentially, I think 2, I'm not sure if you can use all 4, 2 or 3 V-cell emitters, you can set those up to do different things. So like with the MAL, where we have the forward button as our tight beam high power, rear button, flood, you could do something similar here and have this, the standard button be your full power or your maximum power, your second button being your tight cone, and your right button being your wide cone. But you can make it even more interesting than that. Say, have your main button be your standard cone, your left button being flood, high power, right button being flood, low power. And that gets you 3 different power modes at the tip of your finger in terms of intensity on target. There's Honestly, this thing, like I said, came out of left field. It's a very capable kind of finally the next generation of mall ergonomics, but in a much smaller form factor and lighter form factor. I think they said about, was that 2,500, Ryan, for this one? 2,500. Steiner, once again, made in America, I believe. So we have another kind of high-end company giving another option to the market. And in very short order, from both angles, we've kind of seen the Mall, the Raid XE, and the Engel, if you could get one, kind of really taken down a peg. These units used to be no questions asked, the best performance you can get, and then you'd buy weird shit to save money. But nowadays, we're looking at a number of models that are significantly cheaper and significantly more capable coming out in pretty quick order, really kind of dethroning a lot of these options. Now, none of these options, except the Iris, are out at this time, so once again, take this all with a grain of salt. You want to be careful, right? It's SHOT Show. When they say 6 months away, they mean 6 months away, give or take 6 to 12 months from now. But yeah, no, these are all very promising units, and I would keep an eye out, well, on all of them. I said I'd finish this. This has been Brash Facts, SHOT Show 2025. I am becoming more delirious by the second. See you later, fellas.